Hey Movie Club, so the pick for this week was Cabin in the Woods. Awesome pick. Thanks Phil and everybody else who voted it up. I love this movie. I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and pretty much anything that Whedon's done, including the comics that he's had a hand in. His ability to deal with a large cast of people, you know, because in the Buffyverse there's, you know, he's got up to like 10 characters, even more than that he's dealing with once, and he's able to establish them fairly quickly and then develop them. I mean, that's why so many people, you know, fell in love with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and connected, and it was just such a huge cast. It's not just like one or two people on, you know, who are normally like the main characters in like Bones, you know, it's focused on, you know, Bones and Booth, but you know, this, you know, he's always handling a large group of people for the most part, and Cabin in the Woods is no exception. And like the group that he's handling, just they worked really well off of each other too. And the dialogue, like if the new Evil Dead had the dialogue that Whedon had with his characters with Cabin in the Woods, I think it would have ended up a lot better. But, you know, on that note, like, the dialogue and the acting were great. Everyone played off of each other really well. The stoner was awesome. All the cameos that Whedon has going into Cabin in the Woods from all his different Whedonverse people, you know, like Andrew from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Fred from Angel, and then Marty the stoner is from Dollhouse. That's just amazing. I love when people help each other out like that. I mean, not that anybody's hurting, but it's like, oh, you know, why not? Why not come be in my movie real quick? You know, just have, you know, a couple minute cameo, or, you know, have a full-on part and through the whole thing. You know, Andrew's in there for all of a few minutes toward the beginning, and then I don't think we see him again. He ends up winning with maintenance when they're doing the betting pool, which is an awesome scene. And it's really sick too that like parts of like, you know, the corporation or whatever is like handling, you know, the events too for the sacrifice, you know, they're all betting on which death sequence is gonna happen. And it was probably my favorite part. One of my favorite parts is when he's explaining to the woman, she's like, no, I pick zombies, and because, you know, the Buckners or whatever. He's like, no, there's a difference between zombies and then redneck zombies, you know, who torture and maim. It's not the same. And I think one of my other favorite parts was when the unicorn, you know, just comes barreling out, and it's like, oh, it's a beautiful unicorn. Stab. Who the hell would have thought? When I was in the theater and I saw that for the first time, I was like, holy shit. A fatal unicorn blow. Like, that's incredible. I loved that. But yeah, I especially love the stoner. I loved that he was the one who figured it all out because he had some sort of crazy weed. I mean, what a way to make him the hero. And then nobody's really the hero at the end. They're both this, you know, him and the Virgin are just sitting there like, yep, we're all gonna die. And then that hand comes up and crushes everybody. But yeah, no, yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. It was a really good pick. And I don't think a lot of people expect, if you don't know anything about the movie going into it, then you're going to be disappointed because, you know, you think of Cabin in the Woods, you think of like the old school horror movies like Friday the 13th and Evil Dead and anything that involves a cabin in the woods. It's gonna be that image. But you expect scary horror movie stuff, but what you're really getting is humor and more of like a social commentary on how, like, all the archetypes and typical things that happen in a horror movie. What this is doing, it's saying that, you know, whatever you've been seeing, it's all been a part of this like major manufactured thing to keep the world from collapsing in on itself and taken over by the demon underlords that are sleeping, you know. We sacrifice certain amounts of people and have the typical stereotypes, you know, go into it and die, you know, and bleed out for these gods, and, you know, then we survive the end of the day. But a lot of people don't appreciate the humor, especially Whedon's humor. Joss Whedon is a funny guy, and I I love that what he does with characters, with, you know, in certain situations, he's able to get that quick retort out of somebody. And yeah, I think my favorite character is the stoner. I mean, who doesn't love a travel mug slash bong? And the way he like clocks one of the Buckners in the head with it, that's fantastic. And he saves the day. Yeah, gotta love Marty. Who would have thought I would say that I loved the stoner? But it is what it is.